Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're going to be talking about the Master League Premier Cup today for Season 6, and I don't think much has changed, maybe a little bit, but not much compared to previous seasons, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at what Pokemon I think are going to be the best for the Premier Cup, because it does begin in less than a week by the time you're watching this video, so it's definitely going to be really exciting. I think that Ultra League is definitely my worst league. I think I'm really good at Great League, as well as the Master League, but when it comes to Ultra League, not so much, so I'm looking forward to the Master League myself, either the Open Master League Classic, or the Premier Cup. But nonetheless, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. We're going to be taking a look at the S Plus tier, and we do have quite a few Pokemon in this tier for this cup. We do have Metagross leading things off. Metagross is definitely number one. It could be a shadow version. I don't think many players probably Elite TM'd Media Mesh onto their shadow Metagross. I do think you have to use an Elite TM if you use a shadow version, but nonetheless, definitely going to be one of the best Pokemon, if not the best Pokemon, and you're going to see it on every team. If you try and save swap into a Fairy type, Metagross is going to come out if it's not already in the lead or something. It's definitely one of the best Pokemon, if not the best, as I said. So you're going to see Metagross on every team, every other team maybe, but you know what I'm saying? So definitely a powerful Pokemon. Then we have Garchomp, and the reason why Metagross is so good is because if we take a look at Garchomp, now Garchomp obviously is a good counter to Metagross, but even counters like Garchomp, Metagross can still handle or do a lot of damage to. Media Mesh does a lot to Garchomp, doesn't it? Even though Garchomp, as I said, is a good answer to it. But yeah, I mean, you can still threaten it with Media Mesh, doing a lot of damage, maybe shield and then take a shield from them or something. If their Garchomp is running Sand Tomb, it's not going to be taking a lot of damage, so you'll be able to get off maybe multiple Media Meshes, which will force a shield on Garchomp. But nonetheless, Garchomp is still a really good Pokemon. So yeah, Garchomp, it definitely has Mudshot and Outrage, but whether it have Sand Tomb or Earthquake, it's definitely a really good pick. And as I said, it does counter Metagross, even though Metagross can handle it as well, so it's definitely a good Pokemon. Charges up really fast, so it could threaten the dragons with Outrage, can threaten the steel types with Sand Tomb or Earthquake, so really powerful Pokemon. Then we have Shadow Dragonite, or the regular Dragonite, but I think the Shadow variant is probably a little bit better because it does more damage. But yeah, perfect lead, really good Pokemon. It does have to watch out for like Togekiss, but even then, even against the Togekiss, if it's the regular Dragonite, and I don't think this applies for the Shadow one, it could still reach a Hurricane, which will do a lot of damage to a Togekiss, even though obviously Togekiss beats Dragonite, but definitely a good Pokemon. Next up we have Gyarados, which is an amazing safe switch. Just such a good safe switch because, I mean, Pokemon like Metagross, it resists those attacks, both of them. I mean, if Metagross is running Psychic, it doesn't resist that, but it does resist charge attacks coming in from the Metagross, generally like Earthquake and Media Mash. Such a safe switch. I mean, obviously Magnezone is a good answer to it, but that's really the only electric type that you commonly see. Other than that, it's such a good safe switch. Dragon Breath or Waterfall, to be honest with you. I want to say the Dragon Breath is probably more common. I like Waterfall, though. I don't know. I mean, it's such a good Pokemon. And such a safe switch. I would probably keep it hidden in the back, and if I lose the lead, probably switch into it. Another safe switch is going to be that Snorlax, obviously weak to fighting attacks, but that's the only thing it's weak to. So Snorlax, definitely a safe switch. I mean, it could have multiple moves. It could have Skull Bash. It will have Body Slam, but it could have Superpower. It could have Earthquake. So you really never know. Generally, I think the most common moveset is probably Body Slam and Superpower, but I do like Skull Bash, and I've actually ran it in the Premier Cup, which did well for me, so definitely a really safe switch, similar to Gyarados. But then we're moving on to Magnezone. Now, this Pokemon gets walled by ground attacks because it really can't touch them, unless if it has, what does it need? It needs Flash Cannon, Flash Cannon, right? Yeah, I think it's Flash Cannon. It's a powerful steel move. I think it's Flash Cannon, but nonetheless, it does need that move to really threaten the ground attacks, or the ground Pokemon, I should say, but it does lose to Garchomp. Most of them carry Wild Charge and Mirror Shot. Mirror Shot is a steel attack, but it's not a powerful one, so it's not going to do much damage. so it will get walled pretty easily, but it's still a good Pokemon. It's still a really powerful one. And it does do damage, as I mentioned earlier, to Gyarados with the electric attacks, even Spark as a fast move, doing double super effective damage. So for the S tier, we have Togekiss. Togekiss, great Charmer. Definitely the only viable Charm. Well, not the only viable Charmer. There's, like, Gardevoir is definitely eligible, you know, but it's definitely probably the best one, and the one that you'll see the most often, even with Metagross and Magnezone being really popular. Togekiss is still a force to be reckoned with. It's still really good. It beats the Dragon types. It does well against Garchomp, Dragonite, Gyarados, right? So it does really well. So then we have Swampert, really powerful Pokemon, another ground type that does well against Metagross and Magnezone, the core right there. So definitely a powerful pick. I do probably recommend Sludge Wave on this, just so it could do super effective damage to Togekiss, as well as at least touch like Dragonite, right? Then we have Machamp. Machamp is probably the best fighting type in this cup, at least in my opinion, or the Shadow Machamp, whichever one you want to go with. But Machamp definitely doing good damage against Magnezone as well as Metagross. I mean, Metagross is neutral towards, but it's still, you know, pretty good answer to it. Then we have Haxorus. Haxorus is great. It's actually amazing. I need to build a Haxorus. I have one. it doesn't have good IVs. It's a lucky. I'm probably still going to invest in it because it already has a second move. My friend bought the second move for me and then offered it to me because she knew I wanted to do PvP, which was awesome. Unfortunately, the lucky trade didn't turn out so lucky for me, but nonetheless, it's still a good Pokemon, and I'll probably still invest in it. Night Slash doing super effective damage to Magnezone, right? Or not Magnezone, Metagross, and then Counter as a fast move, doing super effective damage against the Steel types like Magnezone, and Dragon Claw, which is doing really well against the Dragon type. So all around, definitely a fantastic Pokemon. It just can't handle Togekiss. Other than that, it's really good, and it's double weak to Ice, right? No, it's single weak to Ice, but it's still weak to Ice. But yeah, great Pokemon. Then we have the A tier. We have Mamoswine. Great Pokemon. It walls Magnezone. It also can do well against Metagross, although it still loses to Metagross, even with Bulldoze, because Bulldoze doesn't KO, and it's going to be weak to steel attacks like Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash, but it's still a really great Pokemon. It's good against Togekiss. It's good against the Dragon types like Garchomp and Dragonite. So it's really, really, really a good Pokemon. Then we have Conkeldurr and Sirfetch'd. Sirfetch'd is new for this Premier Cup, and I do think these are good fighting types. I still like Machamp more, but you know, these are definitely good Pokemon, and Pokemon that you'll probably see. People might be trying out Sirfetch'd, so you might see that initially to begin with, to see how it does, but I still think Machamp is going to be the preferred fighting type. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Then we have Rhyperior. So Rhyperior with Mud Slap doing super effective damage to Metagross as well as Magnezone. But again, Metagross should be able to reach that Meteor Mash, so you still have to shield if you're the Rhyperior, but it's a great option, and obviously if you're a Steel type, you really don't want to see Rhyperior hanging out in the back. But yeah, a good Pokemon, and a Pokemon we've battled before in the Premier Cup. So yeah, really good Pokemon. So then we have the other choices, and these are also pretty good Pokemon. We have Gengar, Hippowdon. Hippowdon I actually really like because it has Ice Fang, Body Slam, right? As well as Earth Power, I believe it is. So, or is it Bulldoze? No, I think it's Earth Power. Yeah, I get Hippowdon and Mamoswine confused. One of them has Bulldoze, the other one has Earth Power, but I think that Hippowdon has Earth Power. But either way, definitely a good pick. Ice Fang, obviously super effective to the Dragon types. Some of the Dragons double super effective, like Garchomp and Dragonite. So yeah, really good Pokemon. It does answer a lot. It walls Magnezone because it is a ground type, so it answers a lot of the meta. So yeah, this is probably going to be an anti-meta pick. Then we have another electric type, Electivire. I think that Magnezone is better, but Electivire, Shadow Electivire, guys, definitely doing a lot of damage. It goes down fast, but it can get, if it takes shields, if you take shields early, if you have a shield advantage with Electivire or Shadow Electivire, it's going to absolutely destroy whatever it goes up against, right, for the most part. Then we have another Charm user, which is going to be Shadow Gardevoir or the regular Gardevoir, but again, I think Togekiss is probably better. We have Heracross, another fighting type, and Chestnut, which is a new addition to this Premier Cup because Kalos was not not out the last time the Master League Premier Cup was available. So I do think this definitely has some play. We'll have to see how people use it. Charizard is a Pokemon we've definitely seen before. It does wall both of Metagross's attacks that it generally uses. I mean, Psychic would not be walled, but for the most part it does so, and it's dishing out super effective damage as well. So definitely could count as some of the popular picks like Metagross, even Magnezone, although Magnezone doing a lot of damage as well with the electric attacks. Wild Charge actually probably knocks out Charizard, but yeah. So, could be a unique pick. Then we have Escavalier, as it's not a fighting type, but it does have counters, so a pseudo-fighter, I guess, if you will. Then we have Typhlosion. Typhlosion is not new for the Premier Cup, but Incinerate is. So, we'll have to see how Incinerate plays into this meta. Obviously, I mean, a lot of people running double steel, so we'll have to see. I mean, Incinerate's going to absolutely incinerate, quote unquote, the steel type. So I do think this definitely has some play. Plus, it's resisting charm damage. So I do think this could be a really good Pokemon. I'll probably maybe want to try it out. Then we have Scizor or Shadow Scizor, pretty standard. We have Excadrill, which I guess functions in a similar way as Rhyperior does. It does have Mud Slap, so it's doing super effective damage to Magnezone as well as Metagross. And it's also, a ground type, so it's going to be walling Magnezone really well. Don't have to shield at all. Obviously, you have to watch out for the Earthquake coming in from the Metagross, but I like Excadrill. I've had success with it. Then we have Milotic, and I think Milotic could be pretty interesting. So the solid team options, we're going to take a look at the first team, which is Garchomp, Metagross, and Togekiss. The problem with this team is, and this is a team I have used in the past, it doesn't really have a safe switch. So if you lose the lead, like let's say they lead Togekiss, you're going to have a difficult time, because if you switch into your Togekiss, they probably have a Metagross. If you switch into your Metagross, which is probably what you would do, they're going to switch out of Togekiss, and then you won't have a solid answer for Togekiss. So that's the big problem with this team, but it's definitely a standard team, and I think it's a good team at that. But hopefully you win a lot of leads. I mean, we do see a lot of steel leads, but it's definitely a solid pick. 3 solid Pokemon as well. Then we have, I don't know who invented this team, but the double steel team with Shadow Dragonite or the regular Dragonite, as well as Metagross and Magnezone in the back. So 2 steel types. You don't have to worry about fairy types. I guess you could say that you have to worry about ground Pokemon in the back, which is definitely true, but the thing is, if you switch out and you will lure out a ground type with Metagross, as I said, Metagross can still fight it, and even if Metagross loses, you come in, farm down with Dragonite, and then you still have that Magnezone in the back to sweep if you have a shield advantage, because even if Metagross, as I mentioned, even if Metagross loses or is weak to something that comes in, it could still possibly take shields or do a lot of damage. So you generally will be coming out with shield advantage, and with Magnezone with shield advantage, definitely very scary, right? So then we have the last team going to be Magnezone, Gyarados, and Snorlax. So Gyarados and Snorlax, as I mentioned, both of them are really safe switches. So depending on the lead, you could switch into whichever one. Snorlax definitely probably being the best safe switch in my opinion. But anyway, yeah. That's going to be the Master League Premier Cup in a nutshell. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what team you plan on using, and I will see you all in the next one. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.